is up, everybody? All right, here we go. I'm here, obviously, as hopefully some of you know, to do the Batman Begins. Where is it? Batman Begins live watch. I just need to take the HDMI thing, put that back on. All right, this should be Hey, what's happening, Shadow Bear? Yes, let's go, Ty. Yes. We are here. We are live. Let me put the headphones on. That might be nice. We have not started the movie just yet, but we will. Okay, I'm putting the Blu-ray on. I'm not pressing play yet, but I'm putting it on. So yeah, this is exciting. Batman Begins. You just watched my Jackass review. Nice. Jackass Forever. Did you see Jackass Forever? Hopefully, if you saw the movie, you liked it. If not, hopefully you liked my review. But yeah, so this is going to be good. Very, very good. Why bats, Master Mike? Why bats, Mr. Bruce? Master Bruce. It sounds like they took us from Family Guy. I don't watch Family Guy. So, I mean, I've seen clips here and there, but, oh, really? Maybe they did. I don't watch Family Guy. I have not seen that one. Nice shirt. Oh, thank you. This is technically my Dark Knight shirt, but I'm not wearing. I'm not wearing my Batman Begins shirt because my Batman Begins shirt is just the Batman symbol. It doesn't say Batman Begins, it doesn't have a picture, it's just the symbol. And because I haven't been to a mall or a shopping store in quite a long time, I have not been able to buy the Batman t-shirt. So I think I'm going to save the shirt that just has the symbol. I'm going to save that for when I watch and review the Batman, unless I'm able to find the Batman shirt before I see the movie. Who knows? It's very possible. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to the mall tomorrow. I don't know. What the fuck am I doing tomorrow? Right? I don't know. Nothing. Okay, so let's go to settings. Let's go to language. Captain America forever ruined that for me, but ruined in a good way. English for subtitles. Although I have my headphones on, but yeah, I do want that on. Okay, so I am very stoked for Batman Begins. Batman Begins is one of my favorite Batman movies. Not my favorite. I think you guys know what my favorite Batman movie is, but this is a great Batman film. It might be my second or my third. I don't know. But it's a great Batman film because it's actually about Batman. Right? This might be one of the only Batman movies where the villains aren't front and center. The villains aren't the main story. They're not what the whole story is about. This movie is Batman's origin. I know everyone knows I love the dark. Yes. Oh, I hope they know. I hope they know. But this is a movie that's actually about Bruce Wayne, actually about Batman. 89? No, 89 is not my favorite. 89 is not my favorite. I love 89, but 89 is not my favorite. But I put this in my top 2 or 3 Batman films because it does his origin so well. It does it so right. And yeah, but I'm not going to talk too much more about it. I think we should save all the B-Man talk for the actual commentary. I might wait another minute before I press play. This should be exciting, though. This should be the Nolan trilogy. This first Batman Begins, when I first saw it, I don't really know where I was with superhero movies because it was 2005. I was in high school. I had loved Batman and superheroes growing up, but I didn't have um I wasn't as, how can I explain it? High school made me sort of like, okay, I'm not paying as much attention to superhero stuff, right? High school, I was more like, oh, you know, um, let's try to hang out with friends and talk to girls. And, I wasn't all consumed with superhero stuff as much in high school. But when I saw this movie, I said, holy shit, like, they're making these movies on a much more serious, top tier level, and I don't know. I don't know. I would argue that Batman Begins got me back into it. I was keeping up with X-Men and Spider-Man, those movies, but I didn't watch all of the other superhero movies in theaters. I didn't watch Daredevil and Fantastic Four and all that stuff in theaters. I was sort of watching those after the fact. Batman Begins is what got me going like, shit. This superhero stuff isn't just for kids. I don't have to outgrow it. And it kind of got me back in there. So, all right, I think we're just going to get started. I hope you guys are ready to watch this with me. If you want to watch it with me, if not, that's fine as well. I will talk a lot and I will give context as to what's going on in the movie in case you're not watching it, in case you just want to hear me ramble and babble on. All right, so let's see. We're going to, yeah, I'm queued up at 0.00. I'm going to press play. And here we go. All right, here we go. We got the newer Warner Brothers logo, right? It has that town, and then I love the theme. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love this. I love this. And then you got the DC stuff. Oh, I'm just here. Vroom. Oh, I love it. Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard. I don't know which one, or maybe they both collaborated. There you get the swarm of bats forming the bat symbol. Super fucking cool. Hell yeah. And I love the orangey brown tint to the sky. That's very great. And I love that shot, it doesn't play into the opening scene of what we're seeing right now, young Bruce and young Rachel. That was just a cool ass shot, and Nolan was like, fucking yeah, let's put that in there. It has nothing to do with anything, it's just super cool. And it sets the tone of this darker story, right? Finders keepers. I think they picked good young actors for Bruce and Rachel here. And Bruce just fell into the hole. Bruce? Mr. Alfred. Oh, here's the part where the bats come out. I wonder how old this kid is now, right? This kid's probably like 20 something now. Oh, and now we wake up to Christian Bale. I know not everybody loves the going back and forth in time that Nolan likes to do. But I like this because if they did all of the kid stuff all together at once, you might feel the length. It might feel like, oh, wow, like we've spent 20 or so minutes with Bruce as a kid. And maybe it'll feel like you want to get there faster. Why do we fall? So that we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Great, great quote. I quoted that so many times after this movie. It's definitely one of the quotes that I leave with. Can they kill me before breakfast? Okay, this guy's a dick, right? And I am the devil. You're not the devil. You're practice. Oh, shit. Look at Bruce. Kick his ass. And now you have, like, what, 6 guys on him? Oh, man. I'm telling you, the first time I saw this, I couldn't believe the seriousness of it. Think about it. We just had, granted, it was like 7 or 8 years, but the last Batman movie was Batman and Robin. So I could not believe what we were getting with this, just right off the bat. Christian Bale's killing it, fighting these guys in the mud. He kicks all their ass by himself. I love how. All right, this for protection. I don't need protection. Protection from them. Yes, that's true. That's true. I love the fact that Bruce Wayne had a certain level of skill before he even meets Ducard, Roz, Liam Neeson. He's actually there was 7. Uh, the casting. Yeah, who expected Liam Neeson? Very, very good point. I was surprised to see Liam Neeson here, and even when I think back on it, it's been 15 or more years. Fuck, has it been that long? It's been 17 years, I think. Shit. Has it? Ugh. I feel old. But thinking back on it, it's pretty trippy that they got Liam Neeson to play this. I mean, I guess Liam Neeson does anything nowadays, but even still, he's a great actor. Ra's al Ghul, and I remember even them saying the name Ra's al Ghul. I was like, what? Are we really about to do Ra's al Ghul? Oh, I love this vigilante talk. And what a great swerve. What a great like. I mean, maybe some people saw it coming. Maybe some people already knew that Liam Neeson was Ra's al Ghul. Maybe it was obvious to them. I was surprised by it. I didn't see it coming. I know there was a toy that came out either before the movie came out or right when the movie came out that had his action figure and it said Ra's al Ghul. I hate when that shit happens. But again, I wasn't keeping track of all that, so this surprised me. You still pull out Darkman? Yeah, Darkman. Darkman's a fun film. That first one, anyways. The sequels, but the first Darkman with Liam Neeson, fun movie. And I love how they don't explain it, they don't show it, but Liam Neeson, Ducard, has the pull to get Bruce out of this prison. And I love, too, that, we just drop in with Bruce while he's already in this prison. We don't know yet why he's there. We find out eventually, but it's kind of trippy to start the movie with, Bruce is in a prison, and, what's going on. But so smart. The mystery behind... And I know that today everybody knows Bruce Wayne's origin probably from this movie. But before this movie, all that people knew about Bruce Wayne's origin was that his parents get shot when he's a kid, and then he goes off and gets trained and becomes Batman. But we never saw it, right? In this movie, you see it. And I dare say, because of this movie, we never have to do Bruce Wayne's origin ever again. And I don't just mean his parents getting shot, because I don't think we need to see that either, but God knows we've seen that so many times even since this. But seeing him go to another country, whatever country it is for the story, and having him get trained, having him go through it, we don't need to see it anymore because this movie did it so well. This movie did it so perfect. It's just why do it again? How can you outdo what Nolan did? And whenever I see Nolan talk about movies, if I see an interview with Chris Nolan just talking about how he approaches film, it's so odd that, he likes Batman. Even Christopher Nolan, with his level of, film, Robert Pattinson, the Batman, will be trained by Alfred. Is that true? Well, I don't know. I've been trying to stay away from as much the Batman news or even them releasing scenes out. I'm not watching it. I'm staying away from it. I've already seen the trailers. I'm already won over. I'm there. You know. All right, here we have Ken Watanabe as the faux Ra's al Ghul. But honestly, seeing him on the chair in the robe with the beard, I bought that was Ra's al Ghul. Sure, maybe the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, they killed Ra's that early, that easily. But I was along for the ride. Was not complaining. I seek the means to fight injustice. I love too the whole. What's a cooler name, the League of Shadows or League of Assassins? I like League of Assassins, but League of Shadows is cool too. I mean, either way, I don't. It doesn't really matter. I love the whole thing of like pick this specific flower, climb the mountains and climb up this village and like something that probably hardly anybody can do. And I love that when he gets there, are you ready to begin? I can barely stand. I'm exhausted, dude. And Liam Neeson's like, I don't give a fuck. Just beating the shit out of him. And then I like when Bruce Wayne catches his foot. He's like, I still got some fight in me. And I love that every move that Bruce does, Liam Neeson already knows what it is. Jiu-Jitsu, Tiger, Panther. He's calling out all of his skills. Because Bruce has already been taught or taught himself probably 5 different fighting styles. And I love this. You're afraid, but not of me. What do you fear? Ah! And by this point, I had already seen American Psycho, and that movie blew my mind. Um, and to have that same actor play Batman, Bruce Wayne, I thought was genius. And the more I look back on that casting, it just, you know, Christian Bale's my favorite Batman. I know people say Michael Keaton because of the nostalgia. For me and for most people, Michael Keaton's your first Batman, right? So I get that. I do. Hey, there's Michael Caine. My favorite Alfred, Michael Caine, for the record. Um, but yeah, I know that most people say Michael Keaton's their favorite because of nostalgia. I know that some people even say Ben Affleck's their favorite because he's the more recent one and he was so vicious and aggressive and the fighting style, the fighting scenes. I get it. I get it. But and I'm not saying Christian Bale's Batman's perfect. I'm not saying that his Batman voice is great. I'm not saying that the fighting, the way how Nolan shoots fighting scenes, I admit isn't great. But I just think everything else is amazing. Everything else is on point. Your first Batman was Val Kilmer. I have a soft spot for Val Kilmer as well. Um, Big fan of Batman animated series. Yeah, I was a huge fan of Batman animated series as well. Keaton was my first live action Batman, but Kevin Conroy, Batman animated series, that was as much my first Batman as Keaton. Like they were both at the same time being ingrained into my head. Um, wow, Dark Knight Rises is your favorite Batman movie? That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Because Rises isn't my favorite, but I love Rises more than most people do. That's why the Dark Knight trilogy, I think, is my favorite trilogy because I think Rises is good. Rises isn't perfect, but Rises is good. Terry McGinnis was your first Batman? Wow. Interesting. It's not even Bruce Wayne. Val Kilmer and Batman Forever is a close second. Okay. Batman Forever definitely came out at like the right time for me to love it the way that I did. All right, here we have Bruce Wayne at the. It's not a movie. It's an opera. Um, And Bruce is getting freaked out by the bat costumes. He's having flashbacks of the bats. It's kind of a shame. Like I'm noticing now that Martha, the actress that plays Martha, she's not okay. She did have one line. Okay, I was gonna say she doesn't have one line. Uh, she said, "What's wrong?" That's all she said. I know that I guess Martha means a lot more to Bruce in the Ben Affleck thing, but I like that it is more about Thomas Wayne here. Oh, Joe Chill. It's definitely not the Joker this time. And I like how Thomas Wayne's like, it's okay. It's fine. He's not reacting loud. He's not aggressive. He's just and as soon as Joe Chill pointed the gun at his wife, that's the first time that Thomas reacted. He didn't attack him. He just went in front of her because he did not want her to get shot or his son to get shot. So again, it's different. Don't be afraid. He looks at Bruce and says, "Don't be afraid." Now, I know some people don't think that this young. Okay, he's crying now though. I know some people. I think this young actor that plays Bruce Wayne, great job. I like the more understated reaction. I know on Gotham, that little Bruce Wayne like screamed, right? It was ah! It was just like, shut the fuck up, right? I like a Bruce Wayne that just internally just starts to cry. He doesn't yell, he doesn't shout. Young Gordon, Gary Oldman, first time we're seeing young Gordon. I'm going to assume he's just an officer, Officer Gordon. I love this. I love this. I love that the first cop that checks in on Bruce, that actually cares about Bruce, is Gordon. And Bruce always remembers that. You know, Bruce literally grows up and thinks to himself, Gordon was the one cop that didn't treat me like shit. And what I mean by that is, we don't see it, but I think it's in one of those the Batman Arkham Asylum game maybe where you it's just audio and you hear the other cops like Gordon's trying to say, "Oh man, like this young kid, I feel bad for him," right? And the other cops are like, "Screw this kid. He's rich. He has a butler. Can you believe that? He has a butler. Fuck this kid, you know, like he's going to be all right." So I would imagine probably the same thing. And Gordon's the only cop who's like, fuck. I'm sorry, kid. Here we have after the funeral, little Rachel waving. I love that. I think this movie separates Rachel from any other Batman love interest. The fact that they grew up together, the fact that he's known her since he was a kid, very different from any other love interest. It was my fault, and now Bruce is crying. It was my fault. I think this scene is what made me knew that I loved Michael Caine as Alfred. You like this version of Thomas Wayne more than the Joker one? Well, yeah, because in the Joker movie, Thomas Wayne's a dick. So yeah, of course. Um, but yeah, the way Alfred's hugging him, great moment. Now we're back to the present. I'm telling you, the back and forth, I think works. I think works. We get to see all of the kid scenes played out, but it's not all at once. Like I said, it's not like you're feeling like we're spending too much time there. We're going back to him as an adult and then back to kid, back to adult. I love this. We can teach you how to be invisible. Fucking ninjas come down from the ceiling. Like, what? And then him standing on these. Wow. And I believe, if I have this correct, Christian Bale did The Machinist. a year before this. And The Machinist, I've never seen the movie, but I've seen pictures of how fucking thin and gaunt and Skeletor like Christian Bale got himself to. And then he had to put on I don't know how many pounds of muscle the following year for Batman. It's insane. He looked skinny as fuck. Yeah, exactly. And so can you imagine going from that to the amount of muscle he puts on? This is probably the biggest Christian Bale is out of all three movies. He got really big for Batman Begins. At this moment, where Ducard's like, "Oh, your parents' death wasn't your fault; it was your father's." He's pissing them off. Oh, he should have reacted. He should have acted. He should have defended. You're gonna have some people who probably agree with that. You know, I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan in that quick little part in BVS, and no, I did not finish Batman the Telltale series yet. He gained 90 pounds of muscle. Holy fuck! Yeah, I will probably replay Batman Telltale games, or I will finish it maybe tomorrow. And then he puts him into the ice. Because even though you might be getting the better of him in the fight in that moment, you're always thinking a step ahead. See, so like this is where Batman this is how Batman's so fucking genius, right? This is how Batman is a step ahead of everybody. I love even the moment where he's like, "Don't worry about your shoulders, rub your chest. That's what needs to be warmed up." Like shit that like I wouldn't think of. That's probably some real life advice. I'll remember that the next time I fall into an icy water. Okay, here you. Once I had a wife. Now you're getting Liam Neeson's backstory. My great love. I wonder. She was taken from me. I wonder if this, like, did Nolan know that one day we're gonna go back to this Liam Neeson Ra's al Ghul backstory? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. I can't pretend like I know what Chris Nolan is thinking. Um, because we actually see some of that. We actually see a little bit of his wife, and she was taken from him and all that stuff, and that leads to the birth of his kid that he doesn't mention his child, but we know that. All right, now we're backwards. Bruce is about college age. Um, did you say you like this Batman suit more than the Dark Knight Batman suit? I think that the Batman Begins Batman suit looks better than the Dark Knight suit, but I like how much more mobile he is in the Dark Knight suit, if that makes sense. Um, but the Batman Begins suit does look better. I agree. Yeah, this bat suit. This is a cool bat suit. Whenever I see a picture of this bat suit, like a shot of him crouching on the railing or crouching on the side of the building, I'm like, yeah, this bat suit looks fucking badass. Right, the Dark Knight suit, he can actually turn his head, but he just feels more mobile in the fighting. So I think, what's Bruce supposed to be like? 19, 20? I don't know. In this scene? Even though it's Christian Bale playing it, but remembering a time when his father was playing with. Was his father a doctor? Why does he have that thing to. What's that called? Where you hear someone's heartbeat? I don't fucking know. Um, you didn't like the fighting style they gave Batman? Okay. I like the fighting style. I just don't feel like it was shot in a way where we could really like experience it. The Batman voice. Hey, Katie Holmes! Our first time seeing Katie Holmes. What do you guys think of Katie Holmes as Rachel? A stethoscope. Thank you. Thank you. I like Katie Holmes as Rachel. I do. Um, I wish they kept Katie Holmes only for the continuity. Because I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is a better actress than Katie Holmes. But Katie Holmes was first, and so I just wish they, you know, she didn't do The Dark Knight for various reasons. Um, you know, I heard it had something to do with Tom Cruise. She was with Tom Cruise at the time, and he didn't want her to do The Dark Knight. Which, if that's true, then fuck Tom Cruise, right? Because come on, and that would have been Katie Holmes' biggest movie if she was in The Dark Knight. Yeah, she would have been killed, but fuck it, it's still The Dark Knight. Um, but if Maggie Gyllenhaal was in this movie first, then great. I don't prefer really one over the other. I like different things about each of them. I just wish that it was one of them. I wish one of them was the Rachel of the trilogy because Rachel is the only actress out of all three movies that they had to recast. You know? Yeah, right. She did a movie called Mad Money, which who the fuck saw that? She did that instead of doing The Dark Knight. I love this. This is Joe Chill's trial. Anyone got anything else to say? Bruce Wayne stands up and then leaves. And then this is pretty haunting. Um, this is pretty haunting. Seeing Bruce Wayne with a gun, like standing there, basically waiting to shoot Joe Chill. This was pretty dark, right? I remember first seeing this and being like, "Oh shit!" Like, is Bruce Wayne about to kill the man who killed his parents? And then, oh, this reporter killed him instead. Because I think was it Falcone that got her to do that, right? She was sent by Falcone to kill him, and then Rachel's like, "You don't have to see this," and he knows, "I do. I do have to see this fucker die." Teaching Mrs. Tingle. I don't know what that is. And okay, Rachel's the one that shows Bruce what justice really is. And I think if I was Bruce Wayne, I would probably also think that justice means killing the man that killed my parents. I would probably feel the same exact way. But I like how she's the one that shows him the narrows, shows him how fucking bad Gotham is, right? Like, you're a rich kid. I know you're going through some dark stuff, but this is real shit right here. The poor, the homeless, the desperate, uh, criminal underground, people like Falcone that Bruce probably didn't really know too much about beforehand. I think this scene is probably Katie Holmes' her best acting scene. What chance does Gotham have when the good people do nothing? That's a great quote. That's a great line. And then this is where Bruce says he shows her the gun. I wanted to kill him. And I love her reaction. Slap! She slaps the shit out of him. Chill was about to give out intel that would help out a lot of people. Yeah, but at the same time, him giving intel should not mean that he gets to walk. And so like I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying that Joe Chill giving intel helps us get closer to Falcone, but I don't I don't like the fact that that means he gets away, right? So either way, it's a flawed system. Either way, it's a system that it shouldn't be that way. So Bruce just threw the gun out into the water, and now he's going in to meet Falcone. I love this actor as Falcone, by the way. What's his name? What's the actor's name that plays Carmine Falcone? Uh, is he listed here? Tom Wilkinson. I got to it before somebody could write it down. I'm sorry, but Tom Wilkinson, really good actor. Love him as Falcone. I love this scene. I wouldn't hesitate to blow your head off right now in front of everybody. This scene scared me. When I first saw this, this was like a different level of Batman villain. I love how like Bruce says to him, "I'm not afraid of you," and he goes, "That's because you're not thinking about the other people in your life I could kill." You know, he could kill Rachel, he can kill Alfred, and that's when Bruce says, "Fuck," you know, like that's when he gets him. I love this moment. And you always fear what you don't understand. Get him out of here. And then his guys beat him up. The fucking cop and judge are sitting right there in the same fucking. Well, here we go. More spirit than your father. You said your father begged for mercy. Begged. Like a dog. Oh! Fuck! Haunting. Man. It's only like Falcone doesn't have a lot of scenes in this movie. He only has like what two scenes. Should have tipped better. Falcone has like two scenes, and only in that one scene they establish that he's king shit in Gotham. He has so much power. Um, you know, that one scene made me fascinated by the Falcone character, and that's why I've always been disappointed by every other version of Falcone that I've seen, right? The Falcone in Gotham. Good actor, but I was more like what they did with him. I'm just like, man, we could do so much more with the Falcone character. Yep, it's a nice coat. He gives the homeless guy his coat. I think he even gives him the money too. He gives him all of his money. Bruce just takes off. And now you're seeing that like now Bruce is stealing, he's basically experiencing what I don't even want to say a common person. He's he's acting as a criminal. That's true. In Gotham, he wasn't even Falcone. He was Falcone. I hated that shit. But I love the idea of Bruce Wayne acting as a criminal so that he can understand how a criminal thinks. Yes. Yes. Um, it's insane. It's such a thing that I never thought about. Like why Batman always is able to outsmart criminals, like the low life criminals. It's because he's lived that life. Even if it was 6 months to a year, however long it was that he did it. Great idea, man. Great idea. And I also love that that flower is kind of the creation of Jonathan Crane's fear toxins. This is where it comes from. It comes from this flower. And now Bruce is being able to experience his fear. I love this scene when Bruce is having to be tested on trying to see if he can keep track of where Liam Neeson is in the group of ninjas. And even just us seeing Bruce's point of view while he's on that flower shit, right? He's high off of it and everything's like vibrating. And then the way how they're all moving around him. Oh, this is such good shit. This might be one of the few origin stories, like maybe this and the first Spider-Man, where I did not mind how long the origin took. You know, I was in it. I was fucking like, I was there for the story. I love how one comes out, swords with him a little bit, and then they go right back to the lineup. For the record, guys, this is gonna be me geeking out for 2 hours, 2+ hours. I hope we're cool with that. And I love the score that plays right now as the bats come out of the. This score is great. This score is great. This one piece of music is why I bought this soundtrack. Master your senses. Because like those bats aren't real, right? It's all in his head. It's all from the toxin. So him letting himself sort of be okay with the bats, and the bats go away, and he's able to he outsmarts them. He cuts all of their sleeves. Yeah, I'm geeking out, guys. I'm geeking out. You could not leave any signs. I haven't. Oh fuck! Dude, when I first saw that, I was like, "Let's go!" I mean, I probably didn't say that because I don't think were people saying "Let's go" back in 2005. Probably not. But I was pretty hyped. Again, he hasn't even become Batman yet. It's just him getting to that level of like he's fucking ready. He's ready for Batman. He's ready for it. You are ready to become a member of the League of Shadows. Now, see, this is where okay. So, if it wasn't for Rachel and if it wasn't for that night, if Bruce had already left Gotham before the trial, before talking to Rachel, he would have easily and gladly killed this man. Um, Guy Pearce was in the running for Ra's al Ghul. I mean, I like Guy Pearce, but and the Memento thing makes sense, but I'm glad we got Liam Neeson. My controller, low battery. Plug that in. Plug that bad boy in. Now let me ask you guys something. If this movie came out today, right? Oh, did I drop something? I don't even know. If this movie came out today, do you think people would be upset with Liam Neeson being cast as Ra's al Ghul? Because Ra's al Ghul, I admit, should not be a white guy. um, and I'm not going to make a big deal about it because I love Liam Neeson. I like him as Ra's al Ghul. But I don't know. It's a question. It's a question. No blue drink. Hey, come on. Come on, Ty. Are you not paying attention? All I've been sipping on was blue drink. But right, so um, Ra's al Ghul was not white on Gotham. The one of the few things I liked about Gotham is that the casting of Ra's al Ghul, he actually was a brown actor. I don't know what race, if he was Middle Eastern or what, but I don't know if Ra's was a white guy in the Arkham games. He had an accent. He definitely had an accent. I just don't know what, like, where Ra's is supposed to be, right? I think that's why it's also not a huge deal, because it's not like it's specifically said where exactly Ra's is supposed to be from. It's probably different in certain stories, but it does make the most sense that Ra's would be a different race. So now we have, so Bruce refused to kill the criminal, which again shows how much Rachel was vital to him becoming Batman. Rachel's the reason why he has his one rule. Rachel's the reason why he doesn't kill anybody. Um, oh, Ken Watanabe just died. The fiery roof just fell on top of him. And I love that shot of the blood, just to like show you that he's dead. And look at this. Bruce Wayne saving Liam Neeson is actually his downfall, right? Saving Liam Neeson leads to the League of Shadows coming back to Gotham, fucking with him again. And then this is a cool scene where he goes down the mountain to catch him. And woo! And I love that all this is practical. I love that it's practical. Like, no one's not doing any green screens. He's not doing CGI. Though that's actually two actors on the fucking edge of a cliff. I mean, obviously that's a stunt guy. It's not Liam Neeson, right? But it's still great. I will tell him you saved his life. I bet you when he hears that, he's pissed. He what? Because it means that, of course, to Ra's al Ghul, Bruce didn't learn anything, right? He didn't learn to do what is necessary. Yeah, the look on his face when he pulls him up from the cliff with one arm, that looked like that hurt. So he's been gone for, what was it, 7 years? Right? So I wonder how long he spent with the League. Like, I wonder how long he was doing the criminal stuff, how long was he in prison, and how long was he with the League of Shadows. I mean, I don't need to know how long for each, but it's interesting to think about. Gone for 7 years, and he's talking to Alfred now. I love how he's like, as a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be destroyed. But as a symbol, I love the way how I can be everlasting. Fuck. Who wrote this shit? Oh, is that what that dropped? That dropped the fucking cover of the movie, didn't I? That's what. Okay, here we go. See? Blu-ray. Blu-ray people, you know I had to have this on Blu-ray. This is written by story by David S. Goyer. I don't know how many of you guys know what I think of David S. Goyer as a writer. But the screenplay is by Christopher Nolan and David S. Goyer. All right, look. I'm not gonna pretend like David S. Goyer had nothing to do with the good stuff that's in this movie. As much as I, as much as I'm not impressed with David S. Goyer as a writer, in general, I will give him credit. Hey, Cillian Murphy. Do you guys pronounce his name as Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy? I've heard it pronounced both ways. Zaz. This is the actually I almost said this was the only live action Victor Zaz, but that's not true. He's in Birds of Prey. But this Victor Zaz at least looks like Victor Zaz. I wish we got more Victor Zaz. Killian? That's how I say it too. But I've heard people say Cillian Murphy, so I don't know. And I like that Rachel Dawes is very much like is very much. Did I enjoy Birds of Prey? He's in Gotham too. That's very true. Very true. Very true. Did I enjoy Birds of Prey? I did. I did. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Birds of Prey was trash. No, Birds of Prey wasn't trash. I just I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Oh, and then this scene, Bruce hears a bat in the mansion. I remember in my old house, well, this is when I was in high school. The house that I lived in, um, there was a bat that snuck in through the chimney, and it was fucking freaky, man. Seeing a bat flying around, like fuck, I was like, maybe this is my destiny. Maybe I have to be, but no, fucking, I'm fucking around. Come on, that wasn't my first thought. Come on, I was like, get this fucking thing out of here. I love Bruce, just that small hesitation as he's looking into the cave right before he goes in there. There was a slight moment of, I don't know if it's fear, but it's definitely like, I remember the last time I was fucking here, I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I agree. Seeing him find the cave and making the cave actually like installing the lighting equipment and just, very cool to see him find the cave. Again, this is the level of his origin that we never got. We never got the complete origin. We never got the whole story. Yeah, sure, you can show us his parents being killed, but to show us this shit, that took balls. And this shot of him rising up with the bats flying around him, like him no longer being scared, embracing the bats, right? Okay, are you saying that you wish Bruce was the one that made his gadgets and that he didn't get it from Fox, Lucius Fox? I like that he gets it from Lucius Fox. I don't know. I mean, maybe because I like Morgan Freeman and and villains interacting like this. Jonathan Crane going to Falcone and telling Falcone that the person I'm working for, which now we know is Ra's al Ghul, is saying the man I'm working for is coming to Gotham, and Falcone actually being a little scared of like he's coming here, him. And okay, so he's going to Falcone to get rid of Rachel because Rachel's asking too many questions. Too many questions. Too many questions. I don't know. I mean, I feel like in most stories, or in some stories, it's Alfred that creates his gadgets and weapons, right? And like, I don't know if I love that. I think I would. I don't know. I don't mind Bruce getting help. I don't. And I like that Lucius Fox is an outside person that he probably knew since he was a kid, has a certain level of trust for, and I like that it creates an environment to where not everything is easy for Batman. I think you run the risk of making Batman seem too perfect when he can do everything. I know people love the fact that normally Batman can do everything, right? He's smart, he can he can build anything, he can solve anything, he can punch anything. I get it. That is cool, but it's a little more interesting when he's just a man and he needs help. He needs somebody to help him with gadgets. He needs somebody else, like an Alfred, to help him with detective work. Um, he needs a Rachel to help him with his moral compass. Like I don't know. I think for this particular more grounded, realistic Batman, I'm totally fine with it. I understand that. I understand that. I do like a Batman that is that level of intelligence too, but they clearly wanted to focus more on the training, the fighting, like that being the skill that he hones in. Um, Rutger Hauer, yes, Rutger Hauer plays um, the asshole guy at Wayne Enterprises that's kind of taken over the company, right? And that's true. Jim Gordon also is a big help to Batman, but Jim Gordon's always a help to Batman. Any version of Batman, right? It's Jim Gordon. All right, so now we're talking to Morgan Freeman in case people don't know where we are. He's talking to Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox, and Lucius is showing him a bunch of shit that they got. R.I.P. Rutger Hauer, sure. Um, there is the suit, and I love that they created this suit that was originally for soldiers, but then when they realized how fucking expensive it was, they said, fuck that. Soldiers' life aren't worth fucking $300,000. Isn't that some bullshit? That's some old bullshit. But I believe it. And that's what's sad about it. And this is where it starts to become a secret. I'd rather Mr. Earl not know what I'm doing. And Lucius' response of, as far as I'm concerned, all the shit's yours anyways. I love that. That instantly establishes their relationship from that point forward. You didn't like the Batmobile? When I first saw the movie, I didn't love the Batmobile either because it's a tank. It wasn't a traditional Batmobile. But I would say by the time The Dark Knight came around, that's where I came around to the Batmobile. That's when I came around to the tank. And now I very much like the tank. I do. I very much like the Batmobile. But it's funny, by the time I started to like the Batmobile in The Dark Knight, they blew it up. They got rid of it. I'm like, of course. But now I'm completely okay with his Batmobile. Mostly because it's different. Like it's hard to recreate the style of the '89 Batmobile. And if you look at the Schumacher Batmobiles, they were trying too hard, right? They were trying too hard with the flashy lights and the glowing and the spinning and the style. It's just like this is too much. I like that it's just once again realistic. What would a Batman in real life do? He would just drive a fucking tank that can destroy everything. And then now you have this scene of Bruce and Alfred establishing how to get the parts for the suit. And I love how we put it together ourselves. We have to order a large shipment to avoid suspicion. Huh! Hey, there's Detective Flask, which I believe Detective Flask was in. Was it Batman Year One? And we're establishing that he's a dirty cop, and he gets all these small time store guys to pay him off, to shut him up. And Gordon, once again, is one of the only cops that isn't doing dirty shit. And even Gordon saying, like, I'm no rat, but everyone's fucking dirty, so who am I gonna rat to anyways? You know, like Gordon, all these years later, ever since Bruce was a kid, Gordon never turned. You know, Gordon never became a dick. He never became like all of the other cops. And I feel like that's what the show Gotham got wrong about Gordon. Um, Gordon never. The Gotham's Gordon just never embodied this. I'm a good guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Ben McKenzie wasn't. He's obviously no Gary Oldman, right? So it shouldn't compare. But this is why Gary Oldman is my favorite Gordon. I love this. First time Bruce Wayne being out there as prototype Batman. He just has the ski mask. Now we're two. I love that he has a stapler to the back of Gordon's head. And he establishes, hey, now we're going to become partners. Whether you like it or not. You know, like Gordon's like, what the fuck's going on? He doesn't know if that's a criminal or what. But I love that Batman's basically telling him, hey, we're going to work together. From this point on, we're going to work together. And then this shot of when Gordon has a gun on him on the roof, and Batman just jumps off the fucking roof. No plan. Like, he's just like, I'm just gonna fucking jump! Like, and he fucking probably killed his ribs. This is where he establishes that, fuck, I need to glide. I need to be able to glide. Have I watched Mask of the Phantasm? No, I have not. Well, I've seen Mask of the Phantasm, but I haven't watched it on, like, live, no. But I love this, though. It's like Bruce is learning what he needs as Batman as he goes, right? He's, you know, trial and error, you know, learning on the job. It's like, oh, fuck, yeah, I like, what just happened sucked. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to jump off of a roof and not have a plan. So next time, let's get a cape. And I love this. Lucius Fox says, I'm not an idiot, but don't tell me exactly what's going on so I don't have to lie about it. That's great. Again, the tumbler? You don't want to know. Oh, you wouldn't be interested in that. Oh, this is great. Look at the smile on Bruce's face while he's driving the tumbler. Yes, I have seen all of those. Mask of the Phantasm, Sub-Zero, Mystery of the Batwoman, Return of the Joker. I've seen all of them. I think I own all of them, too. I own and watch anything and everything that's connected to Batman the Animated Series. Trust me. If it's voiced by Kevin Conroy, I probably own it. Does it come in black? We're about to get that moment right now. So, what do you think? Does it come in black? I love he just it's one of the few times Bruce Wayne is smiling and not a I'm smiling in a way in front of the public smiling. Like he's actually he looks so happy driving that fucking tank. It's great. All right. So okay, Falcone actually this is his third scene, and then he'll have a fourth scene when Batman catches him, right? So all right. Under the Red Hood is great. Great movie. And there you go. You have Falcone telling Flask that, oh yeah, you know, he doesn't say Rachel specifically, but he says, hey, things go bad from people walking home every day, right? Basically saying that Rachel's about to die from a random mugging. It's gonna look like a complete, total random. There you go. You get the bat belt. Oh, I'm sure Nightfall's coming. They already did the Long Halloween. They already did Hush, um, which I was pretty disappointed by Hush. I might be one of the few people that didn't like the twist of Hush. Uh, I didn't care for that. But the Long Halloween I did like a lot. They did the Dark Knight Returns. They did Year One. They've done a lot of the big ones. You're right. Nightfall's probably the. They did Death in the Family, right? So yeah, Nightfall's probably one of the. Yeah, they gotta be careful. They're running out of Batman stories. Look, don't get me wrong. They have plenty of Batman stories to make movies out of, but I just mean as far as like the big ones. I don't know. Yes, Bats frightened me. It's time my enemies shared my dread. Oh, I love that scene. There are so many great quotes. That's one of them. Why do we fall? I agree. Tommy being Hush makes it more personal. I get that they thought it's too obvious if it's Tommy Elliott, but that's the story, right? I don't know. Like I didn't need Riddler to become Hush, but I I do like this moment. This is the first time that we see Christian Bale as Batman. The way how Stice, I guess is the guy's name, the thug, the way how he gets taken into the darkness, it is so quick. Very cool. Very cool. And having this scene from the criminal's point of view, almost like a horror movie, but from you know what I mean? Like Batman is their monster. Very cool. Very cool. The dialogue is awesome. Yes, and Batman Begins. Absolutely. Great dialogue. So many memorable quotes. Look at that. The one guy looking up. What? Looks up. It's Batman hanging upside down. Oh my god. Uh the only I shouldn't say the only, but one of the few complaints about the Dark Knight trilogy, and I guess Chris Nolan, is that Chris Nolan can't really direct action that well. Um, so we could argue that maybe if this scene, actually not this, all the stuff of like Batman taking people out, again, it's like a horror movie, it's great. But when Batman is actually fighting people, I do wish it was shot a little better. It's one of the only complaints you'll hear me say about the Dark Knight movies. Now here you got the long-haired guy. I love this. He's like he's shooting like crazy. Where are you? Here. Oh, that was in the trailer. I remember that was in the trailer. Here. Boom. Takes him out. See, but like now Batman is in the middle of the criminals and he's fighting all of them. And it's being cut so fast. Again, I get that it's supposed to be like he's so fast you can't really see what's going on. Like I get what the idea was, but it would be nice to actually see Batman like doing it. That's why Ben Affleck in the warehouse doing all of that. That's why everybody loved that so much. There he is. I'm Batman. Bam! And there's your first good look at the suit. Nice coat. And then it looks like he just flies up there. But I'm sure he just had a fucking wire. Thanks. I don't know. I mean, maybe if it was darker. I can't say it looks terrifying because I can't really see what's going on. You know what I mean? So maybe if you had the type of fighting that Ben Affleck had in BVS, if that was the fighting that happened in these movies, then they'd be perfect, right? That's right. You better run. I like that Katie Holmes actually thought she scared the fucking guy off. And for all the people that complain about the Batman voice, I actually think Christian Bale's Batman voice is pretty good in Batman Begins. It's someone like you. He's not like someone like you. He in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, he definitely gets more raspy, more gravelly, more hard to hear in the sequels. The first movie, though, he's just speaking lower. He's not as raspy in the first movie. I don't know why he went more raspy. I think if Christian Bale had kept this voice through all three movies, then you wouldn't have nearly as many people complain about it. And there's your first little idea of the bat signal. Falcone strapped to the light. That's probably where Gordon gets the idea. That's why it becomes his symbol. Where's the detonator? Where is it? This shot of Batman on like the edge of the building, great shot. Great fucking shot, man. And then here you have Commissioner Loeb. And I like that Gordon's the only guy that's defending Batman. He did deliver us the hardest to get criminal ever. Even Commissioner Loeb is being a dick about Batman, right? All those years that Commissioner Loeb was there and he's never been able to catch Falcone. Bats are nocturnal. Damn, 3 o'clock, he's still asleep? It makes you wonder how late he was out last night. I love the bruises all over his body. Like, it does not make being Batman look appealing when you see how fucked up he is. Polo. Alfred's right, though. You need to create a... What does someone like me do? Drive sports cars? Dates movie stars? This is great. This is creating the fake persona of Bruce Wayne. I love it. You might even have some fun by accident. I like that. And I love that as he's talking to him about that, Bruce is just doing fucking push-ups. Like his mind is so conditioned to always be fucking training, right? To always be on the go. It's pretty sick. he's mentally fucked himself up to the point where he can't have fun, or he can't like think about that. He has to always be doing that to his body. All right, here you get the eventual Ra's al Ghul plot with their microwave machine that evaporates all of the water. Missing. Look at that sports car, baby. And he's got two models with him. Are they Russian? You should see my other one. I like that line. Yes, Bruce Wayne is the Mask. I like that a lot. I've always liked that. You know, Batman's the real him. And obviously, Christian Bale, very good at playing the playboy, billionaire, asshole. He's so good at this. And as much as I do like Michael Keaton, you can't tell me that there's been another Batman that's been able to do the fake playboy, I don't give a fuck about anything, the way that Christian Bale does. Oh, the European? Okay, there you go. I'm buying this hotel. And I'm setting some new rules about the pool area. I mean, is that not just dropping your load all over the place? Like, and oh, there's Rachel. Bruce? Bruce was so caught up in his bullshit, he didn't even recognize Rachel walking by him. But I love how it drops, you know? When he's face to face with her, he's instantly like, hey. It's too bad they never got to be together, Bruce and Rachel. Because he really was, or she really was, his first love. He had some fun by accident. Yeah, he actually was. I am more. As the models are like, come on, we have some more hotels for you to buy. But it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Another fucking banger quote. Come the fuck on. There's no way David Goyer wrote this shit. No fucking way David Goyer wrote this. I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe it. I don't believe it. You're telling me David Goyer wrote all of these fucking classic lines? That had to be Nolan. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to shit on David Goyer. But goddamn, I don't believe that Goyer had anything to do with these lines. I'm sorry. He probably laid out the plot or like the story. This dialogue is all Nolan. It has to be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Watch Blade Trinity and tell me if David fucking Goyer wrote the dialogue in this. All right, so now you have Jonathan Crane is meeting with Falcone, and Falcone's telling him that I know what the fuck's going on here. I know that you guys are planning on doing shit. Not in my town. Oh, would you like to see my mask? They made Jonathan Crane actually pretty fucking creepy in this scene right here. The way how he just changes the subject and talks about his fucking mask, and then There's the gas. He's not faking. Not that one. And you just hear Falcone screaming his fucking ass off in the room. Man. Yeah. I think Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow, is an underrated villain. I hated what they did with him in Titans season 3. I hated it, hated it. Oh, I love this. Batman meeting Gordon at his house. I love we didn't get nearly as much of Batman crouched down like that in any of the sequels. Dark Knight Rises. It's only Batman Begins where you see him crouched, and I like it. I miss that. He'll talk to me. What do you think? And he's gone. But I've been wrong before. Oh, this scene's great. Batman's about to go meet Flask. Or Flask. Why am I saying Flask? And Flash just stole this guy's cash. He took the big bucks, too. What a fucking dick. What, they don't like falafel? Oh, there he goes. He's upside down. Where were the other drugs? Swear to me. Yes. See, if you did this scene in The Dark Knight, as much as I love The Dark Knight, his voice would have been too much for this. But his Batman Begins voice is perfect for this. Perfect for this interrogation. Why do I look like a cop? And I like the fact that his voice does get that big when he's angry, right? Or he's interrogating. He doesn't talk like that level every time he's Batman. I don't know. That might be my favorite. Do I look like a cop? Yeah. That might be my favorite. Shit, I'm trying to think. Is that my favorite Batman moment in this movie? It might be. Swear to me. That might be my favorite Batman moment. Fuck. And Rachel's boss just got fucking killed because he was asking too many questions and found the microwave emitter. And I also like that we spend so much time in the Narrows because Gotham's usually presented in a way from Bruce Wayne's point of view as far as the rich and whatnot. It's cool to see the dirtiest parts of Gotham, right? Hey, it's little Joffrey. It's you, isn't it? The other kids won't believe me. And I love that he gives this. What did he give him? What device was that? Little badass Joffrey, right? He grew up to become the biggest dick of Game of Thrones. Although Ramses might take a spot. I don't know. I love that Crane does notice that the window was open. So that's what makes Crane suspicious about maybe possibly somebody being in there. Oh, was it binoculars? Is that what he gave Joffrey's? Joffrey. I'm just gonna call him Joffrey. Whatever that kid's name was. He's Joffrey. Okay, if you just gave him binoculars, then whatever. Batman just took that guy out while he's peeing. Oh, he just got hit with the fear gas. Oh, the bat coming out of Scarecrow's mouth is so freaky. You need to lighten up. Or you just set Batman on fire. Oh, fuck. Damn. Just jumped out of the window. Yeah, when I first saw this movie, I thought, shit. Um, Seeing Batman set on fire was pretty extreme. Because even in Batman Forever, when they do that scene where Two-Face supposedly blows Batman up, but then he comes out of the fire, you never felt like Batman was in danger there, right? In this scene, it feels like Batman's in danger. It feels like, fuck, like he's not doing good. He's on the roof. He's about to call Alfred, and he even sounds like panicked. Again, you don't hear Batman scared a lot. I mean, granted, it's probably more of the fear gas bringing out all of these emotions out of him that he hasn't dealt with. Wow. Batman in the back seat fucking flipping the fuck out. And Alfred looks like he's about to cry driving him home. Man. It's such a quick moment, but fuck, that sticks. He was out for 2 days. And oh, today's his birthday. Many happy returns. Damn, that gas took him out for 2 fucking days. Oh shit, Lucius Fox is there. I love the look in Bruce's face. Like he's like, oh shit. I just wanted you to know how hard it was to create an antidote. I love that. Can you make more? I love that Alfred says Lucius. Like, have we all been saying his name wrong? Is it really Lucius? And we just say Lucius because we're dumb Americans? Like, Lucius Fox? Oh, hey, even Rachel showed up to give him a present. Did Rachel have something going on with her boss? I don't know. I mean, I know there was that scene earlier when Bruce saw her and him talking, and it looked a little affectionate, but we heard them talking, and they were only just talking about. He told her to be careful looking into Crane. Um, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but happy birthday. And I know. What do you give a billionaire for his birthday? You give him something that has meaning. Finders keepers. And it's basically telling him, I've kept this fucking thing since we were kids. And tell them that joke you know. What's that joke that Alfred knows? I've always wondered what the fuck that joke was. Because it's that one joke. Alfred only knows one good joke. And I want to know what it is. Yes, the entrance to the Batcave in this movie is epic. He plays the little note on the piano, and then the door opens, and then he has the elevator that takes him down to it. Awesome. Awesome. Opens the thing. There's the Bat Cowl. You know what? The bat suit kind of reminds me of the Batman Telltales game a little bit. Specifically, the symbol. It's just black on black, right? There's no yellow. There's no like no. There's no gray. It's just black on black. Oh. All right, Rucker Hauer is about to fire Lucius Fox. And I'm firing you. Why would he just ask him to? Didn't you get the memo? It's so satisfying when Morgan Freeman says that shit back to him later on. But yeah, why would you ask him to look up all of the files on the microwave emitter and then tell him you're firing him? Like, why would he still do it? All right, so now we have Katie Holmes. Rachel is questioning Falcone, going mentally ill all of a sudden. You never understood how the animated series made his suit cloth? Because it's a cartoon. Like, it's a cartoon. You don't really have to think that much about it. In this case, a scarecrow. And I love that Batman can listen in. And I love that Rachel is talking to Crane and she kind of realizes that there's something off about Crane. How fascinated he is with the mind controlling the body, and like she's just looking at him like, dude, you're fucking cooked. It's actually pretty good acting from Katie Holmes. Um, like she's realizing that there's something up with Crane and that she needs to go and do something. So of course that's when Crane takes control of the elevator and brings her down to a lower part of Arkham. And oh look, we're dumping chemicals into the water supply. This is where we make the medicine. Perhaps you should have some. Clear your head. And I love that she just runs. She's like, what the fuck? Why does Batman wait until he poisons her? Well, I think by the time like he doesn't know that she's about to get poisoned, right? Like he can't see them. He just hears it. So when he hears her get attacked, he hears her scream. That's when he's like, "Oh shit!" Like I have to go and save her. He's here. I love how excited Crane is that the Batman. I love that he's excited to like, because he's already beaten Batman technically, right? But the Batman. And I do like that the fear gas has different doses. I gave her a concentrated dose. I heard he can disappear. I love see, this reminds me of like whenever Batman's first in Gotham and you have people who like the criminals, like they don't know if he's human, right? There's rumors, oh, he sucks people's blood, he can disappear, you know, um, like the myth begins. And that's the point of the fear. That's why Batman created that. See, I think this shot this is shot better. Of Batman taking out the criminals. This scene I think is shot better than the first one was. Oh, he grabs Crane and he's gonna douse him with taste of your own medicine, doctor. Oh, I love Crane's point of view of Batman right now. Crane, who are you working? The black shit coming out of his mouth. Batman looks like a demon. Ra's al Ghul is dead. Who are you working for? Shit's coming out of his eyes, like demon Batman. Yes. Crane's not here right now, but if you would like to make an appointment, like Crane's completely fucked. Oh, I love it. I love that. Cops are here. Batman's not leaving without Rachel. Come on, guys. Yes. That's why I think that's why I judge Scarecrow so much on so much more harshly now because of Cillian Murphy. I think Cillian Murphy was so good, and he doesn't even get a lot of scenes, but it's the little stuff that he does that makes me go like, fuck yeah, that's Scarecrow. That's him. That's Jonathan Crane. That's like you can't do better than this. You know, Gotham had a Scarecrow. Titans, that Scarecrow sucked. Fucking sucked hard. That actor was terrible. Batman just takes Gordon. They can't help her. Watch Gotham Knight miniseries. I've seen it. I've seen it. I think it's okay. I don't love it. He mentions someone else, someone worse. So even though Batman thinks Ra's al Ghul is dead, still hearing his name is like, all right, I might have to look into this. Back up. What the? Here's the bats. I love it. The bats swarming the cops is totally Batman Year One. This is great. You could tell how much Nolan was inspired by certain moments from the comics, even though Nolan was going for a more realistic, grittier and grounded Batman. He definitely was still like, I got to do that moment. I got to recreate this scene. I got to recreate that panel. Like. Hey, the shot of Batman going down with the bats around him is very cool. Very fucking cool. And the criminals in Arkham seeing Batman run down the hall for the first time. Excuse me. Would Batman say excuse me to a bunch of criminals? I don't know. I brought mine. Yours. Come on. The tumbler's fucking awesome. I gotta get me one of those. It's a black tank. Well, you can't miss it. It is a black tank. He's not lying. And Rachel is freaking the fuck out because she's on the fear gas. Which actually kind of works because if Rachel wasn't on fear gas, she'd probably be talking a lot more, or she'd be like screaming, or you know what I mean? Like maybe it would be annoying, but I like that she's more freaking out internally. Um, because I think they even show in her point of view that she's seeing fucking lights and she's tripping out. You had the one moment of the security guard looking at his coffee or whatever the fuck he was drinking. He's on the roof of the parking garage. I know it's a little silly, but I like the fact that he goes into the fucking device to shoot. And I love that he can still drive from that seated position. Um, it actually makes sense that the bat pod is inside there because the position that he's in when he shoots, that's kind of how he's crouched down on the bat pod as well. So it makes sense. I mean, I don't know if Nolan knew that he was going to have a bat pod in the tumbler in the first movie, but it makes sense when you look at this. He's driving on roof, or no, do you say flying or driving? He's driving on rooftops. Yeah, the tumbler's sick, man. I don't care. I don't care. I know it's a tank. I know it's not traditional Batmobile. I still love it. It looks fucking sick, man. The way, like, it's so big. It actually really drives that fast. I remember I was obsessed with this movie, and I watched all the behind the scenes and all of the testing of the tumbler stuff, and I was like, man, they really built this fucking thing that can drive around and drive as fast as they need it to drive. Pop their tires. Hopefully that cop. Hopefully these cops are wearing seatbelts because Rachel's fucking. She's about to pass out. Oh, he just went black. He just went dark. Well, more black than he usually is, right? Stealth mode. There you go. I like that. Stay with me. You see, if she wasn't freaking out right now, she might notice how much affection he's giving her, and she might have been questioning it more, like, why does he care so much about me? But you don't like the bat? That's fine. I mean, I know the bat is basically the tumbler, but a flying version of it. Um, I don't hate the bat, but I understand that you don't like it. I like the fact that the bat. This is what I like about it, because Chris Nolan does not like to do CGI. They really built that thing to fly. Like that was a real thing that was flying around and doing shit. Yep. So I know what you mean about the bat uh maybe not looking special because it's just the tumbler, but flying. But I was impressed that it's actually something that can hover, you know? Like I remember that one scene at the end of Dark Knight Rises where Batman is hovering over the League of Shadows and he's shooting missiles at them. Like that was all practical and it's just I'm more impressed with the practicality of that more so than anything else. Crane was just a pawn. We need to be ready. And he just fucking gave her the antidote. He just gave it right to Rachel. One of the few moments that we see Bruce take the cowl off, we're only seeing the back of his head. I think Dark Knight Rises is the only. Well, no, because in Dark Knight he's sitting in the chair with the cowl off and the suit still on. But sure, the Batwing is definitely looks better. Absolutely, I agree with that. It's a shame no one was killed. So this is interesting. You have Alfred who's not condoning what Bruce is doing. He's questioning Bruce. He's he's worried that Bruce is having a little too much fun. He doesn't want him to be a vigilante. You have a name to maintain. I don't care about my name. It's your father's name. And that's all that's left of him. That's damn good television. Yeah, great line. Great line. Happy birthday to you. All these fake fucking people that don't give a shit about him, right? I love it. I love that even though he just does it to get rid of them, I, I love that Bruce does that whole, like, all of you phonies. It's a bit technical, but the key thing, our company's future. Rutger Hauer plays a very good villain. He's a villain in almost everything I've ever seen him in. Has Rutger Hauer ever played a good guy? Can you guys tell me if Rutger Hauer has ever played not a bad guy? A little worse for wear, I'm afraid. I love how, to those people, it looks like Alfred has just date raped a girl and is sticking her in the back seat of his car. It's not a great look, right? Who are you working for, Crane? Oh, it's too late. So the slightly unhinged Crane, because of his, I mean, I guess clearly he didn't give Crane the concentrated dose or the same dose that Batman got, because Crane looks like he's able to talk and stuff, but he's a little unhinged. Unless you have a microwave emitter. Misplaced. That won't stop a man like you, would it? I suppose not. Oh, I love it. I love Bruce and Lucius. Oh, here we go. Now, am I pronouncing this right? Mr. Raz Al Ghul? I love the way that lady says his name. You're not Raz Al Ghul. Raz Al Ghul is. I watched him die. Oh, Liam Neeson. Are his methods supernatural? His identity, Roz. That reveal got me. That reveal of Ra's al Ghul. First time I saw it, I was like, oh! That got me. It did. Maybe I'm dumb, or maybe I was dumb in 2005, right? I was 16 years old. And you know what? Roz does give Bruce the opportunity to clear the room and save these people. Think about it. Bruce has to be a dick to save these people's lives. You can't get more selfless than that because he does. It kind of sets up the Dark Knight where he makes Batman have to become a villain in everyone's eyes, right? In this, everyone has to think that Bruce Wayne's an asshole in order to save them. I'm not finished. To all you phonies, you two-faced friends, you sycophanted sucker. Oh, I love that word, sycophantic. Great word. Leave me in peace. Please go. Stop smiling. It's not a joke. Please leave. I love that. Even though he's saying all that, I love the idea that there are still some people who are smiling because they're that fake and phony. Stop smiling. Get out of here. Amusing. And I couldn't believe that they set the fucking mansion on fire. Wayne Manor burns to the ground at the end of this movie, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, granted, we get it rebuilt in Dark Knight Rises, sure, but the Dark Knight, the mansion's gone. He's living in a fucking $1 million penthouse apartment. Oh, they just opened all the criminals' cell doors. Now this is where you really get what the League of Shadows is all about. We sack Rome, burn London to the ground. So they've been behind some big time events. To hear Ra's al Ghul say that Gotham is so fucked, Gotham is so gone that we just need to fucking get rid of it. Like, we need the city to fucking burn. And you know what? I understand that point of view. Gotham is a fucked up place, but at the same time, ultimately, I am with Bruce Wayne where it's not all fucked. Right? It's not all bad. People, there's enough good people. Gordon, Rachel, Alfred, Lucius. There's enough people in Bruce's life to let him know that Gotham is worth saving. I like that. And they just fucking gas and burn his fucking house all around him. Ugh. Everything that he owns. Katie Holmes was with Aaron Eckhart in another movie. Was she? I probably didn't see that movie. So is Roz saying that he was slightly behind his parents being killed. What is the point of all these bloody push-ups? You never did learn to mind your surroundings. Oh shit! You burned my house and left me for dead. Consider us even. Although, to be fair, Bruce did not leave you for dead. He left a fake you for dead. But he did burn your house down. Fair enough. No one comes out, make sure of it. Damn. This score is great, by the way. Damn. Oh, Rachel just woke up. And she has 2 antidotes? Well, she gives 1 to Gordon, right? And then what does she do with the second one? Oh, Alfred just took out... I hope you're not a member of the fire brigade. What is the point of all those push-ups if you can't lift a bloody log? I love the look that Bruce gives him. Bruce is like, you motherfucker. Even though he's not wrong. Damn. It breaks my heart to see this mansion fucking go up in flames. Wow. That shot of them looking up and the whole fire. Damn. Everything they own. Everything his parents own. Why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves back. Yep. You still haven't given up on me. Never. I love it. I love it. Damn. Detective Flask is, he was quick to almost shoot a black man, huh? I saw that. Yeah, that scene is coming. Our mutual friend sent me this. And there he goes. There's the train. Man, the Narrows looks like shit, huh? Well, let's be honest. If I was living in Gotham, I probably would be living in the Narrows. Let's be real. Oh, little Joffrey. Fucking asshole. That cop's just like, well, it's not really a cop. It's really a League of Shadows guy. But he just fucking pushes his head. Time to spread the word. And the word is panic. Damn. And even though Nolan was going for a more realistic Batman, a more realistic Gotham, I like that he still had Arkham Asylum here. Um, I think this movie is the only movie in the Dark Knight trilogy to have Arkham Asylum, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, guys. Oh, everyone's getting infected by the toxins. Fucking Flash was about to kill those two kids. Commissioner Loeb sucks. I'm sorry. I know he's a brother, so it's always nice to see a black dude in position of power, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean he'll be good at the job. Like, fuck, people are going nuts right now. People are biting each other's heads. What the fuck? Is that Scarecrow with the horse? Of course they are. No, Scarecrow. Ah. For some reason, Crane saying no, Scarecrow. I don't know why, but that's creepy. I know Scarecrow is just a quote pawn, and he's not the main villain, but you could totally make this version of Scarecrow the main villain, and it would work. Can you drive stick? You wonder what Batman Begins would be like if Joker was in it. Man, I gotta be honest. I don't know if Batman this early in his career, I don't know if this Batman could beat Joker. I don't know. That's a good question. And you could argue that Rachel fucking beating Scarecrow that easily might be annoying, but at least we see Scarecrow again and again in the sequels. So that's why I don't mind it. Victor Zsasz, again, one of the few times we see Victor Zsasz. And even though he doesn't say anything, he looks creepy as fuck here. Right? He has the knife. He has some cuts on his neck. And, you know, again, I don't know how well this guy is as an actor, like dialogue, but he looks the part. He looks like a sick fuck. I wish we got more of that Zsasz. Christopher Nolan making Zsasz as a villain. That movie would be fucking. You could die. At least tell me your name. It's not who I am underneath, but it's what I do that defines me. That Bruce? Whee! That's another quote that I've quoted a lot since then. It's not what I do underneath, but it's what I do that defines me. Great fucking quote, man. No way David Goyer wrote that. And I love how the people of Gotham see Batman flying over them, and he looks like a fucking giant like gargoyle or whatever. Like you can hear the screams as he fucking comes down, and you took my advice about theatricality a bit literally. I like that Ra's al Ghul's reaction to seeing him as Batman. It's like, well, shit, you sure went a little overboard with the fucking look there. There's something very cool about Gordon driving the Batmobile. And I guess in a lot of ways, that's a big reason why this Batman never needed a Robin, because he always had Gordon. And this Gordon is a lot more involved, a lot more capable than previous Gordon. Oh, this is where Batman gets attacked by the people. And the GCPD sucks. Yeah, but at least Gordon, um, at least Gordon was capable. That's important. The rest of the cops can be corrupted. The rest of the cops can suck. But Gordon being as good as he is, that's why it works. Huh? Well, he's not the commissioner yet. He's I believe, is he even a lieutenant yet? No, he becomes lieutenant after this. He becomes lieutenant at the end of this movie. He's not even a lieutenant yet. He's just Officer Gordon right now. Again, Batman crouching. I love it. You will never learn. Here we go. The big showdown. Batman versus Ra's al Ghul. In a lot of ways, it does make sense that Ra's al Ghul would be Batman's first villain. Although, I know we still have yet to see the Ra's al Ghul that's more like the comic books or more like the animated series. I do like the idea of Ra's al Ghul trying to recruit Batman to become his successor, and like that dynamic. It would be nice to see that at some point in another movie or another adaptation. But for what this is, Ra's al Ghul being his trainer, that's a very good dynamic to create between them. Gordon's reaction to like going into the shooting device. Of course, the black dude's like, nice ride. Trying to steal that shit? What's he trying to do? Damn. It shows, as good as Batman is, Ra's al Ghul's fucking giving it to him. Ra's al Ghul, he knows every fighting style there is to know, and Ra's al Ghul's giving it to him, man. Um, yeah, Hugo Strange is a very interesting villain, and I would like to see Nolan do Hugo Strange. Yeah, and that's why you can't stop this train. Who said anything about stopping it? And he didn't realize that He destroyed the controllers. You never learn to mind your surroundings. I love being able to say the line back to the person who said it back to you. Have you finally learned to do what's necessary? I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you either. Now, does this. Okay. So, does Batman leaving Roz to die on the train, does that count as killing him? It's, this is a big debate. All right. This is a big debate. Is Batman killing Ra's al Ghul here? He's not delivering the blow. He's not delivering the blow. You could argue that Ra's didn't even die from the train crashing. It's when the microwave blows up. It's the explosion that would kill him, right? Yeah, Batman could have grabbed him and taken him out with him, handcuffed him, and delivered him to the cops. He could have done that, but this is also Batman's first sort of outing, right? This is his first. What meeting? You did. I got another job. Yours. Oh, you couldn't get more satisfying than that. Fuck you, Mr. Earl. Drunken billionaire burns down home. It makes sense. I love it. He bought most of the shares. It's all a bit technical, but the important thing, my company's future is secure. My company. Right, Mr. Fox? Didn't you get the memo? Oh, that might be the most satisfying I say that line back to you moment. Like, fuck you. I have your job now, bitch. Because let's be honest, all of the shit that Bruce Wayne does, Lucius Fox is running Wayne Enterprises. Let's be honest. Let's be real here. Here we go. Rachel and Bruce are talking. And this is where Bruce tells her that you were right. I was a coward with a gun. Oh, I love it. I love it. He's crediting her to her face that she's the reason why he developed his no killing rule. And this is where Rachel says, when I saw you, I started to hope that, oh, now they're making out. And this kiss scene is probably why Tom Cruise did not want her to do the sequel. Right? Oh, I know. I don't want her kissing that guy again. No. Fuck that. I think Tom Cruise was a little intimidated. But I like that Rachel figured out that Bruce Wayne is the mask. She's the one that explains that she knows, she can tell that Batman is really him. That's deep shit. Now, it does suck that she said, hey, maybe when Batman no longer needs Batman, then, hey, maybe we can fuck. And so that gives Bruce Wayne hope, right? Bruce Wayne holds on to that for like a year and a half later. And by that, then she starts dating Harvey Dent. Fuck! You said you would wait for me. What the? But Grant, I mean, let's be real here. A year and a half is a long time for her to be waiting around. You know, she probably turned down a lot of guys waiting around for him. And then finally, like after a year or so, it's like, all right, it doesn't look like he's gonna stop being Batman. Harvey Dent just asked for my number. It's like, all right, I fucking get it. All right, all right, Rachel, you're not a horrible human being. Rebuild it, brick for brick, just the way it was, sir. I like the idea of changing some shit up, improving the foundations. Man. Oh, there it is. There's the bat signal. Official. Nice. I love Batman saying nice. It's lieutenant now. Okay, so he was a sergeant before. Now he's a lieutenant. Crane and a bunch of inmates are still loose. Escalation. That's what the Dark Knight's all about. Escalation. Now take this guy. Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. Got a taste for the theatrical, like you. Leaves a calling card. Oh, dude, I lost my fucking mind when I first saw this. A Joker card! I'll look into it. Oh, fuck! I never said thank you. And you'll never have to. You can't get more fucking epic than that. Oh! There it is! Batman Begins! And this score, I mean, I did talk about the score a little bit, but the main Batman theme, again, not as iconic, of course, as '89, Danny Elfman, not as memorable or hummable, or it did fly by. It did fly by. Because before the live stream, I said to myself, "Oh shit, this is 140 minutes, so that's 2.5 hours." I didn't know if I could talk for that long, or if I could, you know, I mean, hopefully this was interesting for you guys for that long. But yeah, you're right. This flew by. I mean, fuck. This is a movie that, as long as it is, it's so loaded. It has so much in it, and it's like it's rich shit, right? It's not just like ooh colors and this and that. It's like no, it's like there's some deep shit in here. Great writing, great acting, great epic moments, fucking fist pump, fuck yeah moments. Um, Great characterization from villains that we up until this point haven't seen in a movie. Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul, even Zaz. Small part, but it's still great. That's how Chris Nolan shows his comic book knowledge, shows his comic book love. Because as small as a part as that was of Zaz, he could have used any generic name serial killer, right? That could have been anybody. But Nolan said, you know what? The real fans would love this. let's make him Zaz. Like, it's just it's little shit like that I think Nolan um, pulled off very well. And yes, Scarecrow was actually scary here. The scene where he opens the briefcase, takes out, he's like, can I show you my mask? And he's like, it might not be scary to people like you, but the crazies. And I don't know. It's just there's a lot of moments with Scarecrow. That scene, him lighting Batman on fire, him attacking Rachel, him at the end on the horse. It's a quick moment, but that one shot of Scarecrow and the horse blowing out fire, it's like, man, if we got more of that, that'd be great. But that's why, he's so good in this movie that's why every time he came back in The Dark Knight, even in Dark Knight Rises, I remember people clapped and cheered when they saw him in Dark Knight Rises. That's how much of an impression Cillian Murphy leaves with this role. Just good shit, man. I love this movie. I do. I had so much more fun. Like, it's probably been a couple of years since I've seen this, since I've rewatched it. So I'm not saying I forgot stuff about it, but I, talking about it for 2+ hours has certainly, like, I just feel like every time I see it, my love for it just goes higher and higher. It's like, this is definitely an infinite level of rewatchability. Not enough people talk about Batman Begins. Not enough people talk about Batman Begins. And I know people are excited for the Batman, and I know people like me always talk about The Dark Knight so many years later. But Batman Begins changed a lot of shit. We have to give Christopher Nolan made Batman Begins. He made this type of a superhero movie back when films like Fantastic Four was being made, Hulk, Daredevil, like those level of superhero movies were being made. I think this came out the same year as the first Fantastic Four, right? So like those sillier, more for kids, cheesier type superhero movies, which you can still have fun with, but making a dark film like this at that time, who the fuck else was doing that? Who else was doing that? As much as I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, and I do love them, the level of writing here is, again, this is the same year as Elektra. Perfect example of, like, that's what Marvel was doing. Granted, Fox Marvel, but that's what Marvel was doing at the time. 1 year after Catwoman. Fuck, Catwoman. We might be getting a drunk watch of Catwoman. Because when I planned this out, I wanted to do one Batman movie a week before the Batman comes out. And I've realized on my calendar that if I do one movie every week, there's still 1 week before the Batman. So the week before the Batman, I might end up doing Catwoman, and fuck. Oh, fuck, man. I've only seen Catwoman once. Actually, no, I watched it twice. I watched it the first time, and then I watched it the second time because I did an unholy rant on it. So I wanted to, like, keep everything fresh for the unholy rant. But, oh, yeah. Catwoman's going to be a complete drunk, but, like, drunk off my ass. I'm going to be shit-faced for the Catwoman live watch. Because I have to be. I have to be. This was great, though. This was great. And you know what? I even appreciated Katie Holmes more. Like, like maybe you can make the argument that Katie Holmes is the weakest actor compared to, but I mean, look at who she's next to: Gary Oldman, Christian Bale, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Cillian Murphy, Ken Watanabe. Holy fuck, Rutger Hauer. Could this cast not be as could this cast not be harder? You know, this cast slaps. It's like you can't find a bad actor in this movie. So Katie Holmes isn't bad. It's just, she's probably the weakest out of that group of people. But she's still good. She's still good. And around this time, I still kind of saw her as the Dawson's Creek girl. So like it was weird to see her in a Batman movie also. Like when I first saw it, and I was like, the Dawson's Creek girl? But yeah, I mean, I fell in love with Chris Nolan after this movie. I might have seen Memento before this, I think. But then, like, The Prestige came out a year later, and then he made Inception in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. And so, like, Nolan became a must-see. Anything and everything this guy does, I will be there day one. Although, ironically, the only Chris Nolan movie I haven't watched yet to this day is Insomniac. I've never seen Insomniac, so yeah, I need to watch that shit. All right, there we go. It's over. Batman Begins. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a movie. What a film. I hope you guys enjoyed this live watch, this rewatch. I had fun. I had a lot of fun rewatching this. This movie's great. I'm going to say, I don't want to say it's underrated because I feel like the people who do like this movie or have seen this movie, they do really enjoy it and like it. And I hear some people who say it's their favorite Batman movie. So that's awesome. But I'm going to say that it's underappreciated. I think that's a better way to put it. Batman Begins is an underappreciated film. And I cannot wait to do The Dark Knight. I will probably end up doing The Dark Knight next week. I want to space these out by a week. But The Dark Knight's going to be fucking epic, man. The Dark Knight is like, you think I was geeking out here? You think I was overly excitedly talking about certain things here? I'm going to be losing my fucking mind in The Dark Knight. Fair warning, Dark Knight, my favorite movie of all time. Obviously my favorite Batman movie of all time. Obviously my favorite superhero movie of all time. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, being along this ride, this journey, this Dark Knight journey that we're about to go on. Thank you, Chris Nolan. I can't thank this guy enough for giving us this trilogy. I'm going to end all of the Dark Knight Rises talk when I get there as well. Yeah, that, you know what? The Dark Knight live stream, it's probably going to be so much of me just reciting the lines, reciting quotes. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. See ya.